Coach Dillon, and then we'll open the floor for questions.
Well, I want to congratulate Temple. They played an incredible game, and they earned that win here in the first Big Five Classic. So congrats to them. Tough night for us. We appreciate all this support and attention. We want to keep this thing going. Questions?
Did anything they did surprise you? Did anything that your team did surprise you?
I was a little surprised by our lack of intensity, the sense of urgency that needs to happen in a big game like this, any game. You expect that. And it's just the expectations, the standard that is set. So I was not pleased with our attention to detail and that on either end of the floor, just basically competing. You know, Temple came in here to win a championship. You can see it from the start, and they stayed with it. They set the tone and ran with it.
It's the life of all of these teams at this point, with how many new players there are across all the teams across the city. But is that a sort of, I told you what this was going to be like, and that's what it was.
Yeah, fair. Not so much, again, figuring some things out, and some good wins, some great nights, and then some tough losses. So just trying to find that consistency. And sure, yeah, it is with you're seeing it a lot across the game. Some call it parity. I call it inconsistency.
It seemed like down the stretch, some of your shot selection in the second half was not coexisting. Like, what was going on in the second half?
Yeah, I think a lot of just trying to create. We were doing that early, just trying to create as opposed to letting the offense work for you. I give Temple credit with their intensity on the defensive end of being disruptive. I felt we had some cutters open, but maybe with that on-ball pressure, our players didn't see it. So our offense didn't generate the looks that we typically get other nights.
And overall, how do you think the university did hosting the first ever Big Five Classic?
Fantastic. I couldn't be more grateful for the time and effort they put into this, and just disappointed that we weren't able to bring that Big Five championship home with everything that was put into it. It's a team effort, and they definitely pulled their end. We didn't get it done.
Can you talk about Jasmine's performance tonight?
Yeah.
19
Yeah,
performance with 19 points.
Jazz has been definitely playing some really good basketball, early in her career, but she's steady with it. Talk about someone just being an everyday person, and that's who Jazz is. As her personality, her approach to the everyday, she brings it at practice. She's a real basketball player in that aspect, and on the floor, it's carrying over. She's getting the results in games as well. We're just looking for that from some others. So definitely pleased with what she's doing and growing, and we know others are capable of it as well. So just getting that consistent piece in check.
Denise, for as much great work as Villanova put into organizing this, I think there was some disappointment around what the crowd was, that it wasn't as big as people hoped it would be. I know you watched the first two games. What did you think?
Yeah, I'd have to go back. Unfortunately, you can feel that energy when things are going your way, when you're on the receiving end of the crowds that we have received. So I think it's just continually get every school involved with the promotion of it. I felt our crew was there. Maybe that's why I was quiet in the final game here, because we weren't on top. But yeah, certainly want each and every school to bring their fan base so we can make it even better than it was year one.
Coach, can you just, and I apologize if this has been asked already, but Tiara East for Temple,
Yeah.
What impressed you about her this evening, or just in general, either watching film or her getting ready for this game?
Yeah, well, she knows the game. She plays the game at a different level. When she's locked in, she's a tough matchup. I just felt she dictated what she wanted tonight. She was smart off the dribble when she's getting rid of the ball, get it into the paint, get to her spots on a post up, and she took advantage. And she was feeling it early. We tried to throw a couple different people at her, but she definitely was ready to go tonight. She's playing some really good basketball and showed her best today.
Thank you.
Yeah.
She didn't do a ton tonight, but Ryan Allen, how good was it just to get her back on the court?
Yeah, it's really nice. I mean, she's only practiced and cleared this week, so definitely wanted her to get some time in there to feel game-like atmosphere, and she'll be all right. She just has to have some more practice under her belt, but really good to have her in the rotation.
Right. So you have 3 more out of conference games, 2 of them on the road,
Right.
and then going into Big East. So how does a team rebound from a tough loss like this to finish up out of conference and go into Big East with momentum?
Yeah, well, I think all these games are certainly preparing us for the Big East schedule, the teams that we're going to face. Again, I'll keep using the word consistent. We just need to find that rhythm, the willingness to put it in every day of practice, with a short turnaround for some games and maybe consecutive practice with others. So we have a heck of a non-conference schedule that this team has been challenged with. So it's a quick reset, quick flush. We got to get ready for a really, really good Fairfield team at their place.
Coach, you started the game on a 9-0 run. Temple really battled back.
Mhm.
They had double-digit turnovers, but you guys just took a 4-point lead into the locker room. What were your thoughts on the first half? Did you think you guys kind of let Temple hang around a little too much in the first half?
Absolutely. I mean, it's what they do. They're capable of scoring quickly and disrupting defensively. So I've played, Temple enough. I've played against Diane Richardson there at Towson, and their teams, you allow them to feel that fuel from the defensive stops they get, or a couple buckets consecutively. They're right there and taking advantage, and that's what they did. Even in the third, we went up 7, and they turn around and down 5. So it just shows that their ability to score quickly, often, and again, that fuels their defense to get the stops they need.
And Coach, just kind of going off that, you talking about the 3-point shooting
Yeah.
as well tonight. You shot a 3 for 20 from 3-point range tonight, and like how much of a factor does that play in just letting Temple just hang around and just like a lot of those books were open.
Yeah.
And I think Temple was able to keep it close because of the 3-point shooting as well.
Yeah, I think that was tough. First half especially, I mentioned it to the team, we were 0 for 11 at halftime. And we were actually shooting 66% from the 2. And just that recognition, I was saying it, we've got to continue to work our action to get some of those easier looks. But it's just so, that 3 ball when it's open, it's real attractive, and almost that proof, wanted to show like, oh, it's going to fall, the shots are going to drop, and you want shooters to continue to shoot. But I think we had to make, that's on me, some better play calls so we could get some easier looks on the move or around the basket, even some more posts up there. Not just our post players, like some of our guards, just to try and take advantage. We just really didn't get into a rhythm, and I think a lot just us repping out some offenses and myself doing a better job with some of those calls.
Coach, you look at this new format for the women's side, the Big Five. The men's did it last year. Now you guys are doing it. It seems like you had some pretty decent success in this first year doing it. And you mentioned kind of going forward how other schools got to get their fans involved and get into the games as well. Just how important do you think this format can be to growing women's basketball, not only in the city, but just overall women's basketball in general, just growing the game?
Yeah, well, I think it's great. Just again, us having it this year, having it here at Villanova, the importance of recognizing the women's game. I mean, obviously, I'm looking out here, look at all this media attention. I've been asked, like, why do you think the game has been recognized and growing? It's because of all of you and them putting these games on TV. When people see it, they get interested and they want to come out and watch. So I think that's us continuing, recognizing when we're going to have it next year, maybe promoting it sooner, and not just the triple header, but the individual games leading up to it to get people interested in those rivalries and coming out. So again, I'll say what a great job our crew did. Extremely appreciative, and would love to have another go of this next year.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.